Hello everyone, welcome to Community Corner. I'm Ryan Nicholas, with my two friends here, and they are...
My name is M. Connie Castle.
I'm DeWitt Taylor.
Our guest today is Beth Monroe and Emily Monroe, a friend, educator, and parent. Our daughter with special needs. Our friend Emily Monroe and Beth, over many years as an educator, has included her in classes, has students, and a variety of talents. That she is very involved parent and has loved all kinds of art. She is multi-talented and shares freely. We are pleased to have you join us here today.
Ryan, it's a pleasure to be here.
Pleasure to be as well.
Thank you.
Beth, now tell us a little bit about your family and your life growing up.
Well, my particular childhood occurred in by the seaside at the Atlantic Ocean in the southern tip of Florida. And I just remember as a child spending most of my time splashing around in the water, swimming, enjoying the sunshine, and going to school on the mainland on the city bus.
Thank you.
Where did you go to school? And what did you study?
Well, I graduated from high school here in Michigan at Lakeshore High School, and I was there as a senior when we moved up to Michigan from Florida after my father passed away. And in high school, I remember one of my most memorable experiences, and I didn't know at the time how my life would unfold, but I actually went on a field trip with my sociology teacher in the class, and we went to a state institution called Lapeer State Home, and I got a chance to actually visit and see what it was like there, and it really made a huge impact on me and made me overjoyed when the state of Michigan closed the doors to state institutions just recently. I believe it was within the last couple of years, and brought all our special needs people back home again into our communities. So that was kind of my biggest lesson in high school. From that, I went on to college and I got a degree in art education at Wayne State University, and began teaching in the Rochester Community School System. The following year after graduation, and little did I know that I would be there for the next 30 years, but I was. And I just recently retired from teaching 2 years ago. Actually, some of you boys were in my class, my art class at Rochester High School and at Hart Middle School. I taught at the Alternative Center and at Rochester High School drawing and painting.
Okay.
Please tell our audience about your family members now.
Well, right now our family is a family of 4. My husband and I have been married for 40 years now, quite a long time. We have an older son named Ben, who's 31. He lives in Olympia, Washington, and studies environmental education issues at Evergreen State College. He is a minimalist, so to speak, out there. He lives in a yurt, doesn't have electricity, collects his water from a nearby spring, and avoids any emissions when all possible, rides his bike to school, and kayaks to school whenever he can. So, and he was home for Christmas with us. And Emily is our youngest. Emily's 27, and she just recently graduated from the Transitions program at Oakland University, and is launching herself into a little bit of a career as a caregiver at Lowry Center, and has started 2 micro industries. So she's a busy lady.
Now, Beth, tell us about your children and especially Emily.
Well, Emily, both of my children were just the loves of our lives. We enjoyed raising them, and even to this day, we are really quite a close-knit family. Even though Ben lives so far away, we talk to him almost daily, and we miss him very much. Emily was a sweet little baby to take care of. She was very happy, easygoing, and just a joy to be with. And she's grown up pretty much that way as well. She's fun. I mean, she loves all the things that young adults love these days. You can tell with the little hand gloves that she's got on. And she's into fashion and enjoys theater. There's so many fun things about Emmy. We love to read together. And she's a hard worker too. When she takes on a project, she really works hard at it. She's a very good baker and photographer and child caregiver, and works real hard at all those things in her life. Right, Emmy?
Yes. And when I wear these gloves, it reminds me of Alice.
And Alice in Wonderland is one of her favorite stories that we read together.
Yes.
Oh, that's a good movie.
Yes, and she also loves the Johnny Depp movie too.
The Johnny
Yes.
Depp movie.
Yeah, he's good at her, and he saved Alice's life from the Red Queen.
Okay.
So yeah, so it's been a real enjoyable life with our two children. We've had a great time.
Thank you.
Okay, I gotta find that movie someday because I miss watching it.
Oh, Emmy has it.
Yeah, I did.
Oh, she-
Yeah, it's
Oh,
on.
you do?
Yeah, I do. It's on DeWitt.
Oh, we gotta watch it someday.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Tell us about Emily and the challenges you faced.
Well, Emily didn't have any medical challenges when she was born. She's perfectly healthy.
Yes.
Just needed glasses, and I didn't realize it until she was kind of bringing things so close to her face that we knew something wasn't right there. And so we went in and had her eyes checked. Under the age of 1, it was probably about 8 months old, she was equipped with glasses, and so then the world was open to her at that point, and things were a lot different when she could see properly. So that was really the only medical challenge.
What, if any, support organizations did you join?
Well, David, the support organization that we became a member of was one that we really kind of started, and it happened. We started it about 25 years ago, and it was a matter of just bumping into other moms in the grocery store, downtown shopping, and collecting names and phone numbers, getting together, and once we had a group of about 5 or 6 moms with special needs babies, we decided that we'd start an official group. And we called it the Parents for Special Kids of Rochester. And we just, in the beginning, we were basically just a support group for one another. We shared our experiences, shared good doctor experiences, babysitters, that sort of thing, joined toy lending libraries together. But then we decided that we were going to become a little political, and we went to our school system and told them that we did not want to send our children, our babies, to center programs any longer. So we were very lucky because the superintendent at the time was John Schultz, and the special ed director was Dr. Sherry Simpson. They listened to us, and I think they really felt in their hearts what we were saying, and then they went to work for us, and they brought our children home. They called it a homecoming model. It was patterned after Vermont's homecoming model, and they brought our kids home, and that was one of the Emmy was in one of the first groups that was part of that homecoming model, and was then went to kindergarten at our neighborhood school in our backyard, along with all these other children in our community. So we were actually able to have our children be part of our neighborhoods, grow up with other kids in the neighborhoods, make friends with neighborhood kids, and go to our neighborhood schools.
Cool.
And not go to center programs any longer.
No. And that's why I met Laura Boyer about the OU, the
University.
University Hills.
And Laura
And
was,
Laura got married.
Yes.
And we're invited to her wedding, and she got married to David Mandrick.
yes, and Laura was a neighborhood friend of Emily's that
Yes.
she met when she started going to kindergarten at University Hills Elementary School. And Laura and Emily have been friends ever since. In fact, she was with us at Christmas,
Yeah, she came over.
and she did, like Emmy said, she got married. And
Yes, she
and,
did.
And what happened at the wedding that was so special for you? Remember?
Oh, yeah, because they were kissing right after the wedding.
Yes, but then
you
she
like
threw
that?
her bouquet.
Yeah.
Remember? And who caught the bouquet?
Oh, it was me got a bouquet, and I first got a bouquet.
Laura threw her bouquet, you know,
Yeah.
the tradition of throwing the bouquet at the wedding, and all the unmarried girls were in one side, including Emily, and the bouquet landed right in Emily's arms.
Yeah, I first got the bouquet, and I had it at my home.
We have it, yes. Laura asked us to dry it for her.
Yes.
And so she told us what to do. We hung it upside down in Emily's closet by a rope and dried it. And it's perfect. It's not as colorful as it was, but it's a perfect little bouquet.
I mean, still looks.
Yeah. So that was one of the many friendships that Emily developed through being able to be home in her neighborhood school.
Huh.
It was very important.
That's awesome.
Yes.
That's wonderful. Now, Beth, please tell us some of the details about your first helping team.
Well, I think the very first helping team, in all honesty, was my husband. He was so wonderful and supportive, and between the two of us, we just absolutely fell in love with our little daughter. And my mom, Emmy's grandma, was also very helpful. She was my A1 babysitter whenever I needed somebody to take care of Emmy. Ben was also so important in that first team, her big brother. He was such a loving and good big brother and continues to be that way today.
Tell us about all the educational plans for Emily.
Oh, that's a good question.
Okay. And that was OU educational plans or all our educational plans?
I mean, that's
Sorry.
all of them.
Okay. Well, like we said before, Aaron, we were really interested in having Emily experience life as much as she could, as though she would have if she didn't have special needs.
Okay.
So going to her neighborhood school was really critical, and it was important. So that was a good first step. And she went to, well, she started out at a center program in Pontiac, and then from there she went to Lowry Center as a little preschool baby. And we spent almost 4 years at Lowry Center. It was such a good place for her. Then she went to kindergarten at University Elementary School, and then continued through there and on to West Middle School as a middle schooler, and then to the high school, which was partly Rochester High and partly Stony Creek, because they were doing renovations at the time. And then she went into the post-high school program with the Wings program. And
Like me and Ryan.
yes,
Right.
yes, like all of you did. And then she went on for her last 2 years at the transitions program at Oakland University, like I think you did, David.
Yeah.
And all of And so did Ryan. Yes.
Of course it did.
Yes, and all of those experiences were great. We had support through them all. She's going to hopefully continue, learning. I believe that lifelong learning is the key to having a wonderful life. So she's looking forward to other learning experiences to come yet. We just don't know exactly what those might be yet.
Yeah.
Did you develop a way to track milestones for Emily?
Well, David, I was back working again at some point in there. I did take a leave of absence for a little while, but then I went back again. And being an art teacher, most of my milestones were recorded visually through photography. So I have a closet full of photographs at home, of albums of photographs, and now I have a Mac computer full of photographs. So it was mostly done through imagery.
Beth, please tell us about the peer of friends that Emily met in school.
Well, because Emily was fully integrated during her schooling experience, she had a wonderful opportunity to meet special needs friends as well as typical friends. Also in there were neighborhood friends. That neighborhood friends were very important for Emily. We belonged to a play group as a baby, neighborhood play groups. She was a Brownie and a Girl Scout. And all of those opportunities were points of making friends.
Tell us about your helping team over the years.
Well, the helping team over the years, I would say, was basically the classroom teacher every year. And we found that classroom teachers were invaluable. They were so important. And we tried to make the most of every teacher every year and what they could offer and provide for Emily's experience in each grade level. I think that it's so important for families to make the most of their educational experiences in school. Sometimes with special needs children, growth is slow to come, but there is growth there. And all those milestones are made. They're just made a little bit later, but they're there and they're important. And I think skills need to be built on from year to year on previous skills. And that it's so important for families to be actively involved with their teachers every year. Their teachers, their parapros, and their principals in their building.
Would you please share any challenges with the school system and why?
Well, I remember those experiences as being positive, and I think that we felt truly blessed to be here in Rochester, to have what we had with our school system. Things can always be improved, but I thought that our experience was one of the best to be had in the state. And we just saw the positives in everything for the most part and worked through any of the issues we may have had. But all in all, it was a great experience.
Beth, now, if at all, did the education system change when Emily got to high school?
Well, it was a little bit different. You know, she was fully integrated even there, but some of the classes became academically more challenging. So the placement sometimes was made for social purposes, which some academic classes just were more challenging. So that kind of opened Emily up to the classes that she did really like, right? Like,
Yes. Like the place we went to.
well, like drama,
Yeah.
right?
Cause I'm into drama and plays I go to in New York City. went to Broadway.
Yes, and so the classes at high school that Emily enjoyed the most were drama, art, music, home ec, reading, and some science classes.
What does Emily like to do in her spare time?
That's a good question. And my spare time is I listen to music like Avril Lavigne, Michael Crawford, and
David Essex,
yes, David Essex.
and oh, don't forget Patti LuPone,
Yeah, Brandy Boy's one of my favorite singers.
one of her favorites, Patti LuPone.
And also I like Avril Lavigne, and she's a singer, and she's about Alice.
In Wonderland,
Yeah,
the Alice in
Wonderland.
Wonderland
Oh,
album.
Alice.
She sings
Yeah.
on that CD.
Alice in Wonderland.
Yes.
So-
She's on that CD, and because she is 26 like I am, but I'm only 27, so she'll be the same as me.
Yeah. So some other things Emily likes to do besides theater too are exercise. She has a membership at the YMCA in Rochester,
neat.
and I think David
Right.
does too because we've
You
seen you
do.
there. So she enjoys the swimming pool and the walking track and the exercise equipment. And she also enjoys, obviously, baking and photography. And she loves her cell phone, right, Emmy?
Yeah.
Spends a lot of time texting.
Yeah, 'cause I usually text my brother,
And his girlfriend.
yeah, his girlfriend Genevieve,
Yeah,
Yes.
and I also text my family and my boyfriend.
yeah.
Yes. So, and she also enjoys her tandem bicycle and
Yes.
biking. And let's see. And of course, photography. And she especially enjoys taking photographs here at CMNtv.
Yes.
Since you're on the topic of fun things, Emily and Beth, really tell us some of Emily's interests and favorite things. Interests
Okay.
and plus her favorite things to do.
No, one of my favorites is taking pictures at the banquet that I took. There's a little camera here. And my sports coordinator had me find this camera, and her name was Jennifer Kazan, and she found me this perfect little camera. It's a little pink. And I love taking pictures of these.
And she had her first photography job photographing for the Friends banquet from through CLS.
Yes, it's for CLS.
Yes, and that was a very fun thing for her to do.
Now, Beth and Emily, did you and Emily interview agency or independent hire or independent staff for hire?
Actually, I do, because I actually hired Taylor Brakens, and she's one of my staff I work with for CLS.
Her peer mentor.
Yes.
And we did direct hire her, Ryan. We kind of have this approach that we take. We post little notes on the bulletin boards at Oakland University in the department of our interest. So we've posted in the music department, drama, theater, and education. And usually we'll find a girl who's interested in a nice little part-time job and who has interests that are similar to Emily's. And it's almost always a match.
That's a good
And we
idea.
especially
It
have a
is.
good girl this time.
That's a really good idea.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. Was Emily part of the local registration department active programs?
You mean Rah-Rah?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes, I am. I'm part of Raw event, like bowling, movie night out, dance club, and the holiday dances.
Yep.
Yeah.
So I'm part of those. So I'll be signing up for this year.
Okay.
And I'll be doing the Avondale Fire Department too, and I'm going to that too.
Okay.
Oh, Beth, Emily, thank you guys for coming down. It was such a pleasure getting to know more about you, Beth, and the facts about your work being a parent, loving and supporting your daughter, Emily, with special needs. It's wonderful to chat with a parent and Glenn personal perspectiveness. Many parents in this world are trending in this path and all are looking for information, support, and encouragement. You provide all of these today, and we thank you. And we are so pleased to have this opportunity to sit down and gather and share information. Emily, thank you for coming.
Oh,
My two friends
thank you,
all-
David.
Thanks, David.
We enjoyed it, right, Emmy?
Yes, we're
Yes.
going to try to be on
What's your
CMNtv.
name?
And
How much are they done? Thanks for being our guest today. My name is Aaron Connie Castle.
Everyone, I'm Ryan this way. Have wonderful and right enough.
See you all in February. Ciao.
Thank you.